Good morning, children. So, we were discussing about the application of biotechnology, and in this concern, in continuation, today we are taking a biotechnological application in medicine. So, the most important theme of biotechnology is recombinant DNA technology and its process. So, recombinant DNA technology has its great impact in the area of healthcare, and by which the mass production and safe production of most effective therapeutic drug has become possible. So, recombinant therapeutic drugs are actually very useful because unwanted immunological responses are not there once they are being consumed, and similarly, they can be compared with the other drugs which are being obtained from the non-human resources, in which the various unfavorable responses, immunological responses are observed. At present, 30 recombinant therapeutics drugs have been approved for human use throughout the world, and 12 of these are presently being marketed also. So, first of all, we are here discussing the genetically engineered insulin. You are very well known to the fact that insulin is a hormone which is secreted from the pancreas, that is a endocrine gland. This insulin hormone is actually required for the diabetic person, because in diabetic person there is a deficiency of insulin, so that glucose is not converted into the glycogen, so that artificial insulin is being provided or injected into the body of a diabetic patient. But how do this artificial insulin is made available for the diabetic patient? Actually, this insulin is isolated from the others animal, and this insulin which is isolated from the other animal, when it is administered to the human body, then again in some of the cases it may produce some unfavorable responses in the human body also, so that it is been thought that this insulin can be produced by using some bacterium, by the use of biotechnology, and it is been nowadays being produced in large quantity. If the bacteria reproduce, then the many bacterias are there, will be available by the reproduction of the bacterias, and large quantity of the bacteria can make large amount of insulin. Now we are here coming to the concept of insulin, that how it is been produced. Again here it is been given that insulin for the diabetic person, earlier it was been obtained from the pancreas of the slaughtered cattle or slaughtered pigs. But this is, as it is a non-human resource, so that if this insulin is injected into the human body, then it, as a foreign element or as a foreign protein, it may cause develops some immunological responses which are unfavorable, so that it is been thought that insulin can be produced by using microbes by the method of biotechnology or recombinant DNA technology method. Before discussing the how the insulin is been produced with the help of biotechnology, we are to here understand the structure of the insulin. So the insulin which is formed in the human body, it is been formed in the proinsulin form, which is the inactive form of the insulin. And in the inactive form of the insulin, there are three chains, are polypeptide chains are there: polypeptide A, polypeptide B, and polypeptide C. But in the processed insulin, only polypeptide A and B is there, and polypeptide C is to be removed. Then only the insulin get active. So it is what it is written here. The chain A and chain B that are linked together, as you can see that these two chains are linked together by disulfide bridge. Okay, so in mammals including human, insulin is synthesized as prohormone or proenzyme, and this prohormone also needs to be processed before it becomes fully mature. which contains an extra stretch of C-peptide. So this C-peptide in the mature insulin is to be removed during the process of maturation. So by making the insulin with the help of biotechnology, the only one challenge was there to prepare the processed insulin, that is, in which the C polypeptide chain should not be there. So in 1963, Eli Lilly, an American company, prepared two DNA sequences because there are two polypeptide chains are there. So that two DNA sequences are being prepared for corresponding A and B chains. That means for this chain, one gene was there, and for this chain, another gene was prepared. Okay, which is coding for A chain, and gene which is coding for B chain. And this is called as the DNA sequences which are coding for A and B chain of human insulin, and these DNAs are introduced into the plasmid of E. coli to produce insulin chain. Introduce them in plasmid of E. coli to produce insulin chain. As you have seen the recombinant DNA technology, with the help of that technology, the insulin gene, that means DNA for chain A and DNA for chain B, is introduced into the E. coli. Chains A and B were produced separately, and they were extracted by creating the first of all they are extracted, and after that the disulfide bonds are being created in between the chain A and B, and that way the processed insulin is formed with the help of biotechnology. So this is here given the structure also. C polypeptide chain is removed and chain A and chain B are bonded together by disulfide bridge. Okay. So this is what about how do the artificial biotechnologically, with the help of biotechnology, how insulin is prepared. Now we are here coming to the another biotechnological application in medicine is gene therapy. Gene therapy is very useful. It is a very good attempt to correct the hereditary diseases, or you can say inborn diseases. So hereditary diseases can a corrective gene therapy is a corrective therapy for the hereditary diseases. So gene therapy is actually a collection of methods. That means in only by one way it cannot be there. There are various methods by which gene therapy can be performed. So first of all, gene therapy can be done in a child or in the basic stage, that is in the embryonal stage only. Okay. So that in this the gene which is the defective gene can be removed, and correction of the genetic defect involves the delivery of the normal gene. That means defective gene will be removed and normal gene can be introduced into the child or in the embryonal stage itself, which we are discussing here. Suppose we are here taking the example of a disease that is called as ADA deficiency, adenosine deaminase. It is an enzyme. Once this enzyme get deficient, so that the immune system, it plays a very important role in the immune system, so it results into the failure of the immune system if this enzyme is deficient in the body. So this enzyme will become deficient if the gene coding for this enzyme will get defective, or if it is a defective gene so that which is coding for this enzyme, so that this enzyme will not form and immunity will also get decreased or reduced. Now we are here coming, how can this deficiency can be removed, how can this problem can be solved, or how can this disease can be cured. So disorder is caused due to the deletion of a gene for adenosine deaminase, as I have discussed you. Why this disorder has occurred? Because the gene has got deleted. So number one, this ADA deficiency can be cured by bone marrow transplantation. because the gene for ADA is present in the bone marrow cell. So bone marrow transplantation can be done. Number 1. But this is not the permanent one because it can be treated, and other therapy is the replacement therapy, it is called as, in which the functional enzyme is injected into the body of the patient. But the problem with both the method is that these approaches are not completely curative. The first approach is bone marrow transplantation, and second approach is functional ADA enzyme is injected into the patient body. But these two methods are not curative completely. अब ये बात खत्म हो गई. So that now we are coming to the gene therapy. Gene therapy is started from here. For gene therapy, what is to be done? The lymphocytes, यानी कि the white blood cells from the blood of the patient are being taken out, and then they are being cultured in the petri dish in the laboratory condition. And in those lymphocyte, the ADA enzyme, functional ADA enzyme, will be introduced with the help of retroviral vector. So that this was written here that normal gene is to be introduced. So normal gene is now introduced into the lymphocyte cell, and now these lymphocyte will return to the patient's body. They will be introduced into the patient body. But however, again there is a drawback that these lymphocytes are not immortal. They will die sooner or later. So that patients requires the periodic infusion of such genetically engineered lymphocyte. So that again it has become problem that again and again the genetically engineered lymphocytes are to be introduced into the patient body. So that it is been thought that the embryonal cell are to be isolated. Embryonal cell are to be isolated in the early embryonic stage, and then in that the defective gene is to be removed and functional gene of ADA is to be introduced into the embryonic cells only, so that the embryo which will be formed will be having the healthy gene or the normal gene. So that will be a complete and permanent therapy. However, if the gene isolate from the marrow cell producing ADA is introduced into the embryonic stage, then it could be a permanent cure. So how many methods we have discussed? Number 1 is bone transplantation. Second is introducing the functional ADA into the patient body. Third is introducing the ADA into the lymphocyte cells, and then it is to be introduced into the patient body. And fourth is the most important one, in which the embryonal cell are being injected with the functional ADA enzyme, normal ADA enzyme. It is the most effective and permanent method of gene therapy for the patient with ADA enzyme deficiency. Thank you.